Greetings, fellow investigators, and welcome back to our video podcast, Into the Darkness, where my friends and I play the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. I'm your host, Tom Rayleigh. Our scenario is Equinox. It's a sequel to The Migration. It was written by Sean Little, and he will be GMing it for us. This is episode 5. Our recap will be given by Zane Fleming as his character, Dean Montgomery. So, without further delay, let's continue our journey into the darkness. Zane?
I still think about that place. The snow, the ice, the blood. When Major Halfborn sent me and Skippy into the Tibetan mountains for that blasted book, we had no idea that our lives would be shook to the core. I can still see Skippy's eyes when I close mine as that creature carried him off, pleading me to save him. I shouldn't blame myself, I know, but no one could follow that creature's tracks in a snowstorm. That creature, a thing from nightmares, so savage and full of hate for mankind. The locals have many names for the beast, but the most common, the Yeti. Years have passed now, and I have seen and fought many things that other men call myths and legends. Which brings me to my latest adventure, this time in Ohio of all places. My half-brother Atticus, in all his wisdom, suggested to Deersworth that I should be the one to escort a ragtag group from Sault Ste. Marie to a dig site here in Ohio. A rather brilliant professor of biology, Dr. Owen Brody, a gruff hunter, Clayton Perry, a colorful yet warm frontier woman, Ma Mackenzie, and a young, ambitious handyman, Jimmy Marsden, and of course the old naturalist, Dr. Percy Daniels. On arrival, we were greeted by Dr. Zephyr Montague. He was heading up the team here and at the dig site, and he seems a good man, yet I don't know him well. He told us a little of the history of the area and the family who owns the land, the Chalmers, Andrew and his daughter Hope and her daughter young April. Things were rather as you would expect in this quiet old town. The mayor being welcoming yet suspicious of newcomers. The old woman gossiping about who's done wrong to whom. Other than the dogs who bark non-stop, nothing seems too strange, which is the problem. In my experience, when things seem too normal, it's because people have something to hide. After discovering the dig site, another dig site not far from our own in the old riverbed, we discovered someone else had removed one or more items from the hard-packed earth that made this mound. Our hunter Clayton started hearing laughing. He claimed it was that of a little girl. When we all called out, there was no reply. Perhaps young April. Montague mentioned she would often watch the workers at the site from afar. Not long after returning to camp, I received word that Atticus needed me to pick up a package from a nearby town. I was to go there and wait for the package. At no point should this package be left unsupervised. As it turned out, Atticus had me pick up a copy of The Star that Dominion had found at the old mine up in Canada. He seems to think it might come in handy. While I was away, it seems the others had a rather sleepless night with some flying creature killing all the dogs at the dig site. On arrival back in Ohio, I received a letter from a B. Sterling warning me of the Dominion, claiming that my work had directly caused the Crimean bombing 2 years ago. But the only job I can think of was a simple courier job I had done in Greece. The package seemed like a book. I can't see the connection, frankly, but might be worth looking into. After I informed the others of this strange letter, Percy perked up and informed us he'd also received a letter from a B. Sterling, telling him to be aware of our employers. What does this mean? Who is B. Sterling? Jimmy and I took a flight to see if we could see any signs of this tramp that had caused a few suspicions within the locals and the workers at the dig site. It didn't take us long to spot his hut and his tarp that he had purchased from Hope at her store in town. Once we landed and joined up with the others, there was a great fuss over at the Chalmers farm. It seemed young April had been attacked by a bear on her way home from school. She was fine, but her young friend, the son of the schoolteacher, wasn't so lucky. His wounds, that's what made me think of the cave back in the Tibetan mountains. I was able to patch up April's horse, who had been hurt in the attack. Hopefully that might bring the girl some comfort. Once we made sure the girl was all right, we went to inspect the tramp's hut. He must have left in a hurry, but this was definitely where he's been hiding out. And the tarp was covering his car. His very nice, expensive car. Who is this man? He's clearly no tramp. Perhaps he is this mysterious Mr. B. Sterling. I'm starting to feel like I did when I finally stood face to face with the Yeti. Like I was about to remove something of great evil from this world.
Thank you very much. Excellent. As we left off, as you just heard, you were certainly, you had uncovered the vehicle, saw it was a not brand new, but I mean a new model vehicle, shiny, well kept. You do notice that there's mud around the wheel well, so it's certainly, and some dust on the bumpers. It certainly was a vehicle that has been driven a distance.
Okay.
That's where you are.
Can we sort of where is everybody at this point? I've forgotten to which, if we're all together at this tramp camp. Tramp camp.
I thought you were. I could be wrong.
We might be, and I
think we all are. Yeah.
I think we all are. Yeah.
Isn't it
Clayton is off
called
hunting.
a jungle?
A jungle. Yes.
It's called a jungle rather than a camp, I think, isn't it?
That's
Tramp jungle.
That's what it said in the article I read. It said they live in jungles by railway lines.
Oh, I see.
Tramps. Yes.
Yeah.
They travel in flocks.
No, the name in their parlance, the name for their camp is a jungle. That's what they call it.
Oh,
Oh.
well, it's a very small jungle. It's not. It's an encampment of one, as it appears to you.
Well, this car is. If he went off, he left his car. Does that mean that he's coming back?
What else is around here? Are we out in the middle of nowhere?
The car, remember, is half a mile up the road from the shed, and the car was covered in the tarp. And underneath the tarp, along the outside of the vehicle, in certain locations are boxes. Some are empty, some are not so much of canned goods and things. You're in a field of, it's not corn at this time, it's probably low-lying straw or hay, not straw, but wheat or hay, something like that.
Okay.
There's not much else. There's, to the north farther, there are the hills, which you've seen from the airplane and the balloons. And back that direction behind you to the east would be the creek. But there's nothing really around. There's just a few scrubby trees and things along the edge of the roadway.
Can I look in the glove box and see if there's any kind of, registration or anything for the car?
Yeah, you can. Yeah. The door's open, yes.
All right, so I'll open up the car and slide over and look inside the glove box.
There's miscellaneous, like some handkerchiefs, just the things you would find in a glove box normally. A pair of gloves, perhaps.
Any
candle.
monograms?
Monocles? No.
Monograms. Monograms.
No monograms, no monocles.
Is there anything in this vehicle that's of interest?
Are you going to?
Yeah, search it.
Aha! In the back seat, there appears to be a lump covered in clothing.
A lump.
A lump. I take a stick and I poke it.
How big a lump?
Oh,
I think we
gentlemen.
found
It makes noise.
Yes, it's a gentleman. Please. We're all friends here.
Who are
you?
A hand comes up, and then another hand, and out from beneath this pile of clothing that was hastily pulled over top is a person. He's dressed again, as has been described to you, in shabby clothing, but not really shabby clothing. It's like it's been made to look like tramp's clothing. Fellow about 5'7", 5'8", blonde hair, blue eyes. Underneath the tramp's clothing, you can see it's actually a decent cut shirt. Gentlemen, please. My name is Brent Sterling. I'm at your service here. Please. I did send you the messages. I did not know it would be you coming.
The very mysterious Mr. Sterling. I see. Well,
Tell us what
explain
you're doing
yourself.
out here.
Well, now you have the opportunity, to explain yourself.
I've, as explained in some of the correspondence I sent to you, I come from California presently, originally from the Boston area. I am currently investigating certain mysterious circumstances related to the church that I was once a priest within. I have followed the workings and doings of this Dominion Corporation, and he does keep eyeing Captain Montgomery. He says, I've just been a little concerned about some of the things that I've come across in correspondence and in some research. And yes, are we all good here to speak? And he glances at Captain Montgomery.
I don't see why not.
Let me
Why
just
My friend over
say,
here.
pardon? I'm sorry.
Why are you looking at my friend over here?
Well, I know all of you and your reputations. I've read about you in the papers and other correspondence that have been written about the activities in Northern Canada. Captain Montgomery, I do know you work for Dominion Corporation, have for a number of years. What I might say to you might put you off a bit. I'm just a little concerned where your allegiance truly lies at the present moment.
Well, if anything I have done has been connected to things such as the Crimean bombing, as you have stated, where people have been hurt, then I want to know, because that was not what I signed up for.
No, of course not. Of course not. I do know of your reputation. The Dominion Corporation, as you know, is a very large conglomerate of individual organizations. Some are quite, shall we say, good. Some do some very good things, providing foods and engineering services, lots of other things that are decent. But beneath all of that, there is a connection between some of the senior members of your organization and another organization. And that is one of the reasons why you and your entire group here have been involved with searching for this object in particular that you're looking for now. Certain artifacts, they are seeking out these artifacts around the world with the monies they make from all of their other organizations funding these expeditions for the purpose of, I don't know how to put this in a way that you will understand, for the purpose of perhaps gaining some sort of powers over the political processes of perhaps or people.
Well, to be quite frank with you, we're under the understanding that they're gathering them in order to keep them locked up and away from people.
Of course they are. The right kind of people. Or the wrong kind of people, depending on how you take that.
I'm not sure what kind of power one can gain. You seem to... I don't know how well you are informed as to what took place up in Pardue Mills.
I've read some correspondence that was written by so-called government persons.
Well, why don't you just speak plainly as what you think happened up there, and we'll decide whether you actually know what you're talking about or not.
I agree.
The object that was found in Northern Ontario, in ancient texts, as I have researched, he pulls out a little notebook. He has a little leather notebook. It's known as Tichkai. 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 He spells it for you. T''CHKAI. That's just the phonetic pronunciation of it.
In my studies, is there...
Oh.
Could I have... Oh.
He always does this, doesn't he?
He said it 3 times and then he froze.
No.
I'm quite worried.
Oh. And he was trying to get us to say it 3 times.
I didn't even write it down. I just pretended to.
I'm leaving this part.
That's not good.
As Nick pointed out, you said the word 3 times and you froze.
Well, I shouldn't have ever said that, should I?
So we didn't even
that-
write it. Mick didn't write it down, he said.
Okay. It's T apostrophe CH
Oh, we're going to play this
apostrophe
game again.
KAI. Tichikai. It's an object written in ancient texts. And as I understand things, it was used by a certain Baudelaire person, a Baudelaire person in the West.
Baudelaire. Yeah.
Baudelaire? Us, yes. It and the object you are seeking combined become one. One is a summoning artifact, and the artifact you are looking for currently is a control artifact. It's the easiest way to explain it. And the one you were looking for now, that these people have sent you for, is Tichikal. Same spelling L instead of an I, Tichikal. What is it?
So you're trying to say that they're trying to summon something and control it. Wouldn't be a dragon by any case.
No, of course not. That's ridiculous.
Is this a word that I've run into in my previous studies since Pardue?
You have not.
Okay.
You have not. You would not have. He says, again, he just says, and understand that there are 3 objects.
What does the third object do?
The third object is the one that is the most difficult to find, hopefully, for the Dominion Corporation. It is Tichichi. It's the TCHCHI. It is the power artifact. When these 3 are combined, the bearer, according to ancient legends, can summon creatures, can control them. And these are creatures from another place. This shook me to my core when I read of this in the texts that I read in the church. And
I start to become extremely nervous. So he does know at least something that he's talking about.
yes. If you ask him questions about what happened up north, he's fully aware of what you have told these so-called government representatives about what happened to you.
Tell me about how my transferring this book in Greece caused the Crimean bombing. What's the connection there?
The people in your organization that are seeking out these artifacts around the world, some of these artifacts have, and believe me, this is crushing to me as a parish priest to find this out. These have power, and the object you brought to these people wanted it so badly that they were willing to kill for it, and those who did possess it were able to do something. I'm still researching this. That mere object caused the explosion. This is all I know.
Well, let's not throw guilt around now. Let's understand that whoever possessed that book used it to cause that explosion.
Absolutely.
Yes,
so absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at the others.
Memory.
Yeah, I looked at the others and I just say, if I had known, I wouldn't have handed it over.
You wouldn't have known. You're doing courier work. Archaeologists and relic hunters around the world do this kind of work. This organization is looking for specific types of relics.
All right. Well, do you know anything that we don't know? and the wheels start turning in my head. This is pure speculation, gentlemen, but do you suppose that our sweet Emily left her husband back in the West and took the object with her to spite him and buried it out here?
In the old mound near the riverbed.
Down near the riverbed. And that's what somebody has found.
I'm going to start walking towards Mr. Sterling.
He's a little cautious. He steps back. You are an older man. He is a middle-aged man, but he's a very cautious man. He's been living in a hut for a while.
Sterling's in the car, though, isn't he? The back seat?
Well, he moves away a bit, yes. Okay. As far as he can in the back seat of the car.
I will extend a bony finger towards him in an accusatory manner. Did you dig up that other mound?
No.
Well, who did that then? I'm confused.
I've been watching. I've been watching the dig site. The little girl's been everywhere. She's been watching them. The father has as well. It's his property. He's been keeping an eye on them as well. The grandfather, rather. He's been watching as well. The little girl, she's been she doesn't get too close. And I know that that's one vantage point. I've been there myself, but
I hate to say it, gentlemen, but I mean, as you just said, Emily could have brought whatever this was back with her, and it stayed in the family. The knowledge of this could have stayed in the family.
She brought it back in the box.
That's what I'm exactly. So I think potentially the Chalmers know a lot more than they're letting on.
Yeah. And I bet you when the minute that the archaeologists decided to come here and dig, old Chalmers got the thing where it was hidden and hid it.
Yes. And like also with the family tree that Ma found, a lot of the women are being attacked by wild animals or killed by bears, and there's just been a bear attack on the young girl. That's very suspicious.
In fact, if you look back at the thing that the old biddy from town, Ezekiel Chalmers died. Amelia was killed by a wild animal. Hope Chalmers was killed by a bear. All these people were killed by wild animals.
Yes.
Yeah, that
controlling animals. One of the things is about controlling.
Maybe.
Could that be the item they've got?
Maybe the animals just don't like the stench of evil that might be on these people.
True.
He jumps in. The object you're looking for is the control artifact. The object up north was the summoning artifact. I know there is a connection between Ezekiel Chalmers and Northern Ontario. I know that much.
And we know the Dominion has the summoning item. We know they've got that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The star. So they're looking for Tichikal.
Yes.
Is what they're looking for. Well, my suspect, the only suspect I have, unless it's still buried out there, my suspect is now the Chalmers family. The daughter and the girl didn't like the sound of the dogs barking, and the dogs are now all dead. And Chalmers was outside in his barn when this all happened.
Mr. Trent, was it?
Yes. No, I'm certain. Brent. Trent's my twin brother. He's now deceased.
Okay, sorry about that. Do any of these artifacts by themselves or do they only contain the power when they're combined?
As I understand things, each has a power on its own.
Oh, okay.
Summoning,
Otherwise,
control, power. I don't know. I cannot find a bit of text that says what happens if they are locked together.
otherwise,
seems to be-
the guy up in Pardue Mills who's tried to make Star City wouldn't have been able to summon the Migoi.
Well, I think we need to see what's in the barn. It sounds like that's probably where he's hiding this thing, if he has it.
Yeah, did you say, Sean, that there was when we went up in the plane that there was a mine?
Yes. In the very northwest of where you are, there is actually a mine that is in the side of the hill. Yes.
And do we
Part
know
of the
who
hills.
owns that mine?
No, you haven't asked about it. People
It's
just
not an
refer to
active
it as
mind, is it?
it doesn't appear to be right now. There's still equipment there. It hasn't been, cleared out.
I hate to say this, but all the bad stuff happened to you guys in a mine back in Canada. Is it potentially that they're repeating themselves and using...
Are we? Well, we'd have to be assuming that the Migoi are back at it. If they
Well,
were,
I mean, a mine would be a great place to hide a dragon.
if that might be true too. No, dragons traditionally live underground in caves.
A dragon? Mr. Sterling says this is ridiculous. Dragons.
Mr. Sterling,
Yes.
it's about being able to summon something.
But this is the control stone you have here in this location.
And yet something swooped out of the sky and murdered all of the dogs. And one man is almost insane, said that he saw what looked to him like a giant lizard with wings.
I heard it.
I saw.
It passed over me. It
Jimmy
passed over
saw
me
it.
while I was sleeping.
What if the creature has the artifact?
Maybe. Montgomery, Dean, you're talking about going back underground again, and oh my God, I don't think I'm ready for that. But
Well, we've got two places. There's the barn, which we think there could be something going on and something with the Chalmers, and there's the mine.
I was in the
So-
barn. I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I
It was the
mean,
cleanest
we
barn I've ever been in.
looked, but it could be something small.
Do we know if Andrew Chalmers ever leaves the house? Does he ever go out? Does he ever do anything? Is there a time that we could potentially go and look around the house?
He gets
Imagine.
drunk. He
He
gets
does?
blackout drunk from what I've heard.
He's-
And
Day drinking every day afternoon.
mhm.
Well,
He
I mean,
also-
there's
Oh, sorry. I was going to say he does pick up his granddaughter certain days because she often rides the horse with her mother to school, as you've seen.
yeah.
But on days where the weather is off or he's just feeling like he needs to pick up something in town, he will pick her up from school with his car.
And how long
Well-
does that trip take?
10 minutes.
Well, the problem is little April probably is going to be going to school here. She's had
not
kind
for
of
at least a couple of days.
traumatic experience.
Trying-
Yeah, so I feel like they're going to be at home for the next few days, unless I have some experience with locks. If you all want to try and distract them, I can try and fiddle around and see if I can get in there.
Well,
But
probably.
I'm not sure I understand. Are you proposing that we should go and steal this object?
Well, if it's there, yes.
We don't even know. Do we know where? We don't even know where it is.
But I mean,
Well, yes.
running around stealing things in a foreign country is not. I mean, we could get into
Well,
that.
listen, a little
Trouble.
girl almost died. A boy did die. We've had animals getting slaughtered. we don't know what's going on with Dominion and why they want this thing.
We've
And
got
I mean, you
by the
gentlemen,
sounds of it, it sounds like this farmer and his family have been looking after this possibly for generations. Shouldn't we perhaps be
looking after it, all the women in the family have been killed by wild animals.
Clean up job of it.
This may just be coincidental.
then we
I
won't
don't believe in coincidence.
then we won't find anything.
Well,
I think that we need to
you should
get
just pack up and go back to Canada then.
in the middle of the night. We can get into that barn quietly without waking anyone, and bring some sugar cubes for the horses.
Well,
Let me put it this
be
way.
careful. You know, in places like this, these farmers are very trigger happy. You know.
Let me put it this way. You gentlemen know better than anyone that when people have one of these items in their hands, or, you know, they have it, bad things happen, and things that aren't meant to be here and things that aren't meant to be done are being done. I don't think it's safe for anyone to have this power.
If this artifact, this 3 artifacts have anything at all to do with these lobster people that live under the mountains, the Migoi, I was just thinking that the texts also say that they can change shape. It might be that the lizard thing is also one of those things. It's just in a different shape.
The wild animal.
They can also, or bears, yeah. Or, I mean, traditionally they were the Yeti that were in the mountains in Tibet. So
I shift a bit
whatever
when you
you
say
want
that.
to call them, that's what these things might be. What do we do with the thing when we get it? We can't just give it to the Dominion.
Try to destroy it.
Well, this is my point. You see, if this family are keeping it safe, then surely we're risking this object by going and getting it ourselves. I mean, all that's going to happen is that the bad things that are happening are going to start happening to us.
Here's the thing. Dominion don't go and get these things themselves. These things are usually in pretty dangerous, dark, horrible pits. They send other people to go and get it for them, people like me. So if I get these sorts of things and I put it in a dark, deep hole and I don't go and get it for them, they're not really going to have that many other people that are going to want to go and get it. Because I'm going to trust me, I'm going to put the word around to all the other people who I know that work for Dominion, or people that would go potentially and do these things, and tell them that this is not a company to work for and this is not worth any money that they're going to throw at them. And yeah, no, trust me that I can, we can hide this thing.
Mr. Sterling, can these things be destroyed? You know a lot about these artifacts. Can they be destroyed?
Yes. As far as I know that the church itself has a lot of these artifacts.
What kind of church are you talking about here?
He's Catholic.
He's a Roman Catholic. He's a Roman Catholic priest, former. I don't know what you call it when he's no longer.
Not a Roman Catholic anymore.
No longer a Roman Catholic priest.
Excommunicated?
He's a Roman.
Once a priest, always a priest in the Catholic Church.
Yeah, it's
Molest a child, you're still a priest. They just put you somewhere else.
So the church has been hoarding some of these.
Oh, everybody thinks that the Vatican is filled with these kind of objects.
it's only a sect within the church. I'm not saying the entire church. I'm still a member. I'm saying that I discovered a sect within the church.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all.
But I know some have been destroyed. They tried with holy ceremonies, didn't work. They ended up just physically destroying some of these, sometimes with catastrophic results.
Well, Mr. Shirley, would you mind if I spoke to my colleagues privately?
Of course, I'm happy to get out of this car. It's a little stuffy. He gets out, goes for a walk.
Between you and me, if we find this object, I'm not sure we can trust him either. Just because he tells us the truth doesn't mean that he's not after the artifact himself.
Well, look, I don't mind being your lookout or something, but I have to say, I draw the line at breaking and entering. I'm having no part of that.
Would you be willing to be a part of a group that goes and looks at the mine?
Well, I suppose.
I'll go to the mine.
Fill it up
I'm
though.
not. I'll go to the mine, but I ain't going to break and enter.
Note that it's around 5:30 in the afternoon now.
Okay.
Why don't Clayton and Percy go and have a look at the mine? And then Ma, you, me, Jimmy, and Dr. Bro, you can do what you like, but we go to the house.
Kimmy is, I would like another person to come with us to the mine. Have 3 and 3, not 2 and 4.
Why? Are you worried you won't be able to keep up?
I can keep up there, Percy. I'm just saying, can you keep up?
You think you could keep up?
I want to bring up something though about
your mother could keep up with me.
What's
your
that?
your mama
mother was
up with me.
No.
Is this the origin of the mama jokes?
Yes.
Very first ones.
1929, March 27.
Your aged and elderly mother is so very, very, very portly that when she sits around the house, she sits around the house.
For exercise, you take a walk around her. No, I was going to say scheduling wise. We know that Andrew goes to pick up his daughter if it's a rough day.
Yes.
But if it's not a rough day, then we've been warned that he's drunk by noon.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Or starts drinking at noon. Yes.
Starts drinking at noon. If someone were to visit him and encourage his drinking, we would have at least 3 hours, maybe 3.5 hours, where he's drunk and she's at school and Hope is at work.
Okay.
Well, he knows Ma. He's already had a conversation with Ma.
And I can drink.
Yeah. And with more alcohol, you're going to look amazing.
No need to be rude now. Okay.
I'm just saying that's a possible scheduling.
I'm open to that. Do you want to? What about this? What if we all go to the mine tonight? We see what's going on with the mine, and then tomorrow we put this little plan in action.
Yeah, I think that's a good idea because the thought of Percy going to the mine. Percy needs a little protection. Percy,
that's why he's got Clayton for.
You're a wonderful fellow. But
you think I might need to wear a helmet while I'm there?
A pith helmet.
You need a big stick.
Miner's helmet with a lamp on the top. I mean, otherwise you won't see what you're doing, will you? See, I'm not that old. I've got my wits about me, more so than you have. I knew we'd need lamps. You didn't even mention that, did you? Young whippersnapper.
Nope.
All the ideas, you've seen it all. It's not the first time you've seen all. I've seen
it all. I don't think we should give. If we find this artifact, we need to get it away from here and hide it, or destroy it. The ocean.
I would rather destroy it than anything. 'Cause I don't want,
Well,
I'm afraid
that you don't know what that will do.
Yeah, we don't know.
I can fly it over a volcano and drop it in.
Catastrophic events, the young man said.
Well,
a box of dynamite just looks like a box until you hit it with a sledgehammer. You're all dead. So hitting this thing with a sledgehammer might not be such a great idea.
Yeah, but I'd rather not have what Mr.
Then you can do it.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Okay, I want to get in the balloon and watch.
Yeah, I'm headed back to Canada. Before you do that.
And that's how Canada had a southern ocean.
Yeah. Beachfront property. Yeah.
I was thinking more flying over a volcano and just dropping it in.
So, yeah, that's not a bad idea either.
Okay.
Pick one with not too many people on the island.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this. It's still 5 o'clock. This is summer, isn't it? So
It's March.
it's March. We got sunlight until 8 or 7. 7 o'clock, maybe.
Then yeah.
6
Yeah,
o'clock.
about
Whatever.
6:37.
I feel like someone should at least watch the Chalmers house tonight. Just to see if there's, just watch to see if anything happens. If, I don't know.
Well, we should be back in time to do that too.
Nice.
Well, okay, so are we all going to the mine then?
We need lanterns, I guess.
We should go back to camp and get supplies.
Sunsets at 6:53. Just
Okay.
It's not terribly far from the dig site, is it? The farmhouse.
Not too far.
Not
half a mile.
No, well, it's
To walk there in 5 minutes.
we can get there quite discreetly then, really.
Let's go. What do we tell Brent? We'll tell him what we're going to do. We'll just we won't tell him that we're not going to give him the object.
So you explain it all to him. He does throw out to you. He says, understand this, gentlemen. There are 3 objects. The organization is looking for all 3 for whatever purpose. Because together, summon, control, power, I don't know what they could do with that. Right. They have the one, the summon. They still know, or at least they have an idea where the other one is, because I'll be frank with you, they're probably going to ask you to search for the other one as well. If you run off with the second one, you may not have the same opportunity to obtain the third. I don't want the object. If you're thinking I want it for my own personal, I don't care. I don't want them to have it.
At that point, I pull out the fake one I've got, and I hand it to Sterling, and I say, how close do you reckon this fake is? How do you think it would be good enough to fool someone?
Well, he turns it over, looks at it, says, well, as I understand it, the artifacts are jadeite in construction, a jadeite material, greenish gray. This isn't of the same color. A person who wasn't aware of the color may be fooled. It doesn't particularly look aged. It isn't a manufactured item to make it look like the original. It's made to be the same shape as the original.
But we could find the other half, make a copy that does look the same color and all the same quality, give the fake to Dominion, and keep the real one in our possession so that we can track down the third one.
I don't have a lot of gemology, but jadeite is extremely hard stone. The fact that they carve it in Japan and China to make it into objects is because it's precious and it's so hard to carve. So
right.
I'm not so sure we could make a copy of it very easily. Nor could we find a piece of jadeite this big. It's a rare gem.
Either that or we go after the third item just on our own.
Let's worry about that. Let's worry about that logistic as we're going. We don't have to sit here and hash that out right now.
Yeah, true.
I'm just throwing out the information for you to consider.
Do we even know where the third?
We have no idea. They haven't asked us yet. So,
well,
I know of 2 locations where it may be.
How do you know so much about this?
Yeah, that's something.
Maybe we should get the church to help us.
The information I have seen is what led me here. It's the same information that I've been gathering through my contacts that Dominion has. Whether they have copies or have access to the originals, I don't know. I know that the rumors are somewhere in the Florida Everglades or somewhere similar. All I know is that the third control object, not the control object, the power artifact, was possessed, and it apparently it was last seen in an area that was, I guess, jungle-like, but not off of the North America, not outside of North America, is what I've gathered.
Does any of that, like, to me, as someone who's traveled quite a bit and been to a few places, does anything kind of ring a bell for me that of what it possibly, anything like that?
Well, southern U.S., the southeastern U.S.
Okay, I think Dr. Brody's right. I think right now our main focus should be to look at this mine and try and get this piece, and then decide what we do.
Yeah.
Once we have this piece.
Let's get what we need and head towards the mine, and then we'll tackle Chalmers tomorrow when his daughter. Hopefully, well, we don't know. We'll see if his daughter goes to school. I'm not sure she will.
What would you like me to do, gentlemen?
Do you want to come
Keep
with
out
us?
of sight.
Oh, yeah. Just keep out of sight.
I think there's a lot of people that are suspicious of you, and
I think what I
Yeah.
might do is discard my costume, so to speak, uncover my car, and perhaps go into town for dinner.
Well, will people recognize you?
No, I was make-upped. I don't think
right.
they should recognize me. I was doing
All
my
right.
best.
All right, let's do this thing. Let's go back to camp real quick, grab some exploration stuff, and then go. Otherwise, we'll sit here next to this lovely car and just chat about it all night.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's all right.
All right. So I assume you've got your things in your vehicle. Are you going to have to go back to town? Or?
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can collect whatever you think you need for your trip. Sunset is 6:30 or 6:53. I looked it up. It is right now 5:20-ish.
Okay.
Not quite 5:30. So you've got a bit. It will take you about 20 minutes to get to the mine site.
Okay. We're going to take some lanterns and things like that.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm going to take my electric torch and some batteries.
Okay.
I want to get the bullseye lantern. I don't know if the
Yeah.
I like that one a lot better than just a regular.
Do we have any firearms?
I've got a firearm. I've got a rifle.
Well, I have my
Most
rifle.
of us are loaded.
Because, do you have dragon killing bullets?
No, but
I thought that I had a firearm. I guess I
You
don't.
do.
I thought you did.
I didn't write
Yeah,
it
I think
down.
you did. Yeah.
I've got a rifle. In hindsight, I really perhaps should have brought it with me.
is there any way I can get heavy armor piercing?
No.
Rounds.
No.
Well,
Not in this day and age.
I have a Gatling gun on my plane.
I'll just grab a rifle.
yeah.
One of those Lee Enfield.
Yeah, that's what I have as a Liam.
Dr. Brody has handgun and rifle shotgun.
Okay. Rifle. How is my shot? Oh boy.
What's your shot there?
I shoot like this.
No one takes you skeet shooting unless they want money off of you.
Yeah. Pull.
What?
I've also sheathed all of my my four curies in my in my
All right.
jacket.
So we're bundled up within 10 minutes and on our way.
You're on your way. So you do 20 minutes later, you go north, you go west, and the mine site, as you approach the hills, you come across, it's a fenced-in compound area. It says Dominion Mine Company on the outside.
So they've been here before.
It's an old sign.
And no one mentioned this to us.
Let's see what secrets the Dominion has down here.
Mm-hmm.
We don't want them attacking the Federation. I mean,
The Cardassian mine is.
all right.
It's fenced in. The interesting fact is there doesn't seem to be anybody at the mine. There's a guardhouse, a gate. Gate has a padlock on it with chain link. Chain with the padlock holding it together. But you don't see anybody. Do spot hidden, perhaps?
Okay.
39.
Yeah, I
seven.
failed. 79 out of 60.
What'd you
Got
do,
it.
Ma?
Extreme.
Extreme?
7, extreme, yeah.
90 out of 60.
Ooh. Just 1 second here. I got a 8.
Okay. Ma, you see a dog. It doesn't look like a regular guard dog. This is like some large half lab, half German Shepherd, and it's really fat. And it's kind of meandering between buildings and lying down every 500 steps. It's just not a very strong dog. And Clayton, as you're peering through your scope, I'm
I
guessing
got
you're
an
right.
extreme. So
Yeah, you got an extreme. You do actually notice way off in the far corner, there's a fella in a hammock. He's got a hammock, and he's just laying back, and he's in a guard's uniform, and he's just laying back in the sun.
I kind of, whoever's closest to me, I'm like, hey, I think I see a guard in a hammock. I think they're, it's way over in the distance.
I think if we just walk right over to the mine and go in.
Yep.
I think
You
we'll
can
do
walk
that.
down the
We got
side, hop
we got
over.
fat old dog over here, so yeah.
Ma, do you think you could handle the lock?
I can try, yeah. Let me see
I
if
have a
can-
feeling, though, we're not going to find a dragon down here because there's a big old
Yeah.
fat old dragon snack right over there, and he hasn't bothered.
Let me see. No, I do not pass my locksmith roll.
It's a big old rusty padlock, but it's been
Yeah,
oiled. It's just really.
Could I try and smash it with my rifle, or would that make too much noise?
You can try, but you look at it and you think to yourself, it's a big lock. It's probably no. It's on the you can reach it, but it's actually on the other side because the guy's locked it from the inside. Right.
Can we jam a stick into it and move the stick so that it twists it off if it's rusty?
Can I do a strength roll and see if I can just ram it so that it breaks?
Could I just try something first, please?
All right.
Yeah.
Ma,
Yes.
I wonder, might I have one of your hairpins, please?
Ma's kind of ruffling around. I think I got something in here. Well, that's what I think she was probably using to get into the
Right.
Now
let's have a go. I'll see if I can do this.
He's going to probably tell us what kind of lock it is and who made it. And
Uh-huh.
it reminds him of his grandma.
My great grandfather had a lock like
bend
this.
bend it a little bit like this, and then a little bit like that, and then you get your little penknife. This is called the Bethesda method. You get your little penknife, and then you have a little rummage around, and hey, voila! I rolled a 7 out of 1. I'm afraid I didn't get that. But
Okay, so can I do a strength roll?
No, I don't actually know how to do that.
Your
Sorry.
hairpin just snaps, but you've got a
Yeah.
pocket of 19 of them. You found them in a toolbox.
yes.
Yeah, I'm just gonna try and ram the gate with my shoulder. Just have a bit of a run up and just yeah.
Sure, you ram bang. Yep,
Do a strength roll.
sure.
I got a 24 out of 70.
Well, you push the gate far enough, you realize as you slam into it that it's not really a tight gate. It opens up and you can pass through.
You're
You didn't
welcome.
break it, but you pushed it open enough that you can slide through. Oh, however, let's see if the old dog No.
Dog doesn't care.
Nope. It's been fed. It's nighttime. Getting close.
Okay. So there's also a cat, apparently, just walked in front of me.
We got a cat here too.
So I hold the gate open, obviously, and gesture for the others to come through.
Yeah. Okay. You get in. There is. Well, you can see this beforehand. There's a guard hut, but he's not in the guard hut as you saw. He's down off to the left. There's a number of main buildings. There's some conveyor type equipment, whatever they used at that time. There's some storage piles of rocks. They've got plants growing in them, so it hasn't been operational at least for a little while, like since last summer at least. And there's roadways all over the place, but there is a roadway you see right away that goes off to the right around the buildings towards the main mine entrance.
Well,
What do we
let's.
think, Vincent?
I'm kind of want to be more. So how is there? How many people do I just see that one guy in the hammock?
Just the one guy in the hammock. Yep.
Okay.
And the dog.
It tells us something. It tells us that he's been guarding a place that nobody has come to for a long time because he's completely
Relax.
relaxed. Yeah, he thinks there's nobody going to come ever.
But he is in a guard costume, so he is there guarding something.
He wants his paycheck.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let's.
Are we still stuck at the gate?
No.
Oh,
No. You can go through
All right.
the gate. They pushed it wide enough
That's right.
that
That's right.
you just bent it. You can squeeze through all of you.
When we get to the entrance, I'd like to check the dirt, see if there's any footprints or tracks.
Do you have well, you do a spot hidden. It hasn't rained anytime soon recently, so.
Nope.
All
Too
right.
dark.
Yep.
Well, we can.
I want to just I want to see if I see any. I actually have a
tracking.
track skill, so I don't need that.
It's
I
a no.
failed.
If there's footprints, there's footprints.
It's a
can't track
giant
those
dragon footprint.
Yeah,
That would be something.
that
Yeah,
would.
let's just
I'm keeping an eye out for safety helmets.
You don't see any footprints other than the dog and what looks like a pair of boots.
Okay.
let's just slip around into the mine entrance.
In the entrance, there's a door, but you can go in the door. There's electric lighting that is actually on, and you can see like these old 1920s style mining type helmets and coats and boots on hooks.
Oh,
Splendid! I'm going to have one of those helmets, marvelous things, with a lamp on the top.
yeah.
And
I actually hand those out to everyone. Yeah.
yes, I think I might pull on a pair of the boots if I can find a pair that fits me, because going down in that mine, I think that would rather ruin my shoes.
Anybody who wants to wear them can wear them. Yes.
All right. Friends, if there's an elevator at the end of this passage, we're kind of screwed, aren't we? That's going to make a hell of a racket if we turn it on.
Mm-hmm.
Or we just climb down the shaft.
We can try that. It's a little difficult for Percy.
I don't think I'm going to be able to
I
do
wouldn't
that.
do that.
We could. Well, is there? It just looked like one person, right?
The footprints, yes.
Don't go
More.
killing Clayton.
Well, no, I was gonna
It's always
say
an option.
we could, just like knock him up or tie him up,
God.
Knock them up.
Yeah,
like knock him out.
you can try that, I'm sure.
Means a different thing where I come from.
So I knock him out.
Oh yes, yes.
Yeah, you know that usually brain damages people when that actually.
We're not. I mean, we're just we're not criminals.
Let's
Making a nickel an hour, like let's just
Hey.
deal with it when we come to it. So let's go down.
Sneak in, and then we'll
Yes.
sneak back out again, and then he'll never know that we were here, and no one's the wiser, are they?
I know. I'm just saying we should do that if it's our last.
Yeah, no, we're not going to knock anybody out. Let's go see what we're up against.
Okay.
If it's far enough in, maybe he's asleep and he won't even hear us turn the elevator on. You're muted.
Sorry. I assume you're going to shut the door when you go in, because it's not a locking door. It's just a wooden door with a wooden latch on the inside to keep it from blowing open. You got if you want boots and hats, whatever you want, you have. You walk a little ways down, and definitely there are passages going left and right to like rooms that have desks and tables and like a lunchroom kind of thing. However, you get to the end of the hallway, and there is absolutely a shaft with an elevator. But the one thing you notice is anything, now this is like just, you don't even have to do an idea roll. If there was something in this mine, it would have to come up through this shaft, and there's an elevator there.
Right. So there couldn't be a monster dragon coming up and out. It would get hit by it would get blocked by the elevator.
Or it'd have to use the elevator. You know.
Yeah, and not knock any tables or desks or anything over on the way out.
Right.
What do you guys think? Jimmy?
Couldn't it fly up the elevator shaft?
Except that the elevator itself is blocking it. It would have to go through the bottom of the elevator.
Well, that's assuming this is the only entrance to the mine.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
Yeah, but we don't know any other entrance, so.
The other one we were at up north, that had 2 entrances.
Yeah, one of them was just a hole going down to their brain lab.
We'll do the obvious. Do we hear anything?
Yeah.
Any
Sound, the dripping, the usual, the wind blowing through across the opening, I guess, as much through the.
I walk into the elevator and I look at the others and I go, once more into the breach, my friends.
Well, one last thought before we try that. If there was something important down here, wouldn't the Dominion still be here?
Well, they are. There's a guard outside.
Yeah, but this place hasn't been used in. Is everything dusty?
Yeah.
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 We could just be going into an empty old mine and.
Yeah.
All right, well.
Do you want to go to that? Do you want to go for us to go and check out Andrew?
You know what? No, we're going to do that tomorrow. But you know what we can do? Let's just do this. And if the guard catches us, we'll just say, hey, we were just having some fun.
We're also technically working for Dominion.
That's what I was going to tell you to remind
we're we have the credentials.
And I'm relatively high up the food chain.
Yeah. If he says, who are you? We said, well, we didn't want to disturb you. You look like you were.
You were sleeping. Or better yet, we could say, we'll keep this between ourselves. We know that, sometimes you get tired.
Sleeping on the job.
Taking a break. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we have an alibi. We're good.
All right.
All right, let's go down.
Let's breach this thing.
Okay. It's a big enough elevator, can hold like 15, 20 people at a time.
Wow.
It's what the whole crew would be like. We would have to take a whole crew down for a shift. Well, not an entire crew, but as many as possible. You get in, you slide the gate shut. There's a big red button and a big green button. You push the big green button. So that's obviously it's still got power, and it goes and starts going down.
So
go down.
Can we gauge how far down we're going?
It's going down relatively slowly, not to jar people, but you're going down a few hundred feet at least.
Ooh.
Like 200.
Ooh, that's a long way. I mean, it's normal for a mine, but it's like freaky. My character is sweating like crazy because it's like we're going down into this again.
Look at all the bands of clays and sediments. Isn't that lovely?
It's full of schist.
That's nice.
No. That's Chert. That one.
Are there lights down in the mine that are on?
When you get down to the bottom, yes. There is one light bulb in the actual elevator itself. You get down to the bottom, and you do see there are some lights going off in the distance in two directions.
Okay. Well, we're here.
Which way is the scary music coming from?
And are there giant spider webs or anything in any direction? We don't want to go that way.
No spider webs.
There's not a sign that says safe and danger, is there?
Do not enter. Enter here. Yeah. All right. Well, left or right, folks? Okay, right.
Well, I was going to say that the left is the direction associated with evil, isn't it?
All right, let's go left.
No.
That's the left-hand path.
Izquierda, the queer way.
Let's go that. What? Oh, let's pick a direction.
Okay, high or low?
Left.
Sinister.
Oh my God, I'll do it.
Yeah. No, let's let Montgomery choose which direction we go.
Let's go left.
All right.
Montgomery says left.
Let's go left.
Let's go right then. Yes, okay.
No, we'll go left.
Okay. I'll just make it simple for you. You get off, you start walking, and after a while, it starts to get boring. It's a mine shaft, and it's heading slowly down gradient, and it's dark, and it's quiet. And those of you who are in the mines in Northern Ontario, after the first 15 minutes where it gets darker and darker, not darker, but deeper, colder, I'd like you to make a sanity roll.
Okay.
So everyone but me.
Yes.
I pass.
Oh, 13. That's a pass.
I pass.
Okay. All right. You all just have an overwhelming sense of, again, just discomfort. And as you continue walking, you do feel like, is the air getting thicker? Am I having difficulty breathing? But there's no real issues. You get down farther. Eventually, this shaft you've taken, after a 15-minute walk, you get to the point where there's some little branching off passageways where they've dug into some veins of whatever metal they're mining here. There's nothing. This is like a spent mine shaft,
Okay.
or a spent pit.
I hope they didn't abandon this because of methane, and we didn't bring a canary.
Just light a match.
That's right. I've got a map.
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't. Well, you don't smell every dangerous gas, but
You can't smell methane anyway. It's an odorless gas. All right. So, do you guys agree that there's nothing this direction?
Yeah, let's head the other way.
So we went, 15 minutes in this direction? This could take 15 minutes to get back, then 15 into the other, then 15 back. So an hour total.
I told you we should have gone right.
No,
We'll find out. Right,
Yeah.
is left.
The right, it goes in a little bit more of a curving direction around like an extremely hard bit of rock that is different than the rest. It's like, whatever. They didn't mine that section. You go in a big curve, drops down. There's actually a bridge over a little bit of a chasm. In the one there, you can actually see water running down in the chasm down below. But it, again, continues on some different locations. You can see, that this one has the more active equipment because there's actually the rails are still on the ground for the mining trolley trucks things. But again, you after a while you reach a point that seems to be like there's fenced off area that says danger.
Any weird smells? Like
No.
lobster?
Can we hear anything else?
Once you approach the water, under the chasm of the water, it actually is fairly loud because of the volume of water passing through. But otherwise, no.
How big's that chasm?
The bridge is about 10 feet across.
Okay, so it would be big enough that water is coming from somewhere and going somewhere, So something could be getting out that way.
Well, we're 300 feet down, so that's just part of the aquifer.
But what I'm saying is if this dragon creature, whatever it is, there's potentially a way for it to get in and out. If it follows the chasm.
The water is flowing.
The water might be flowing just deeper and deeper and deeper down into the ground.
True.
Yeah, you really don't know. I don't think it could. Like, there could be a spring in here. We never really know.
I don't think there's anything in here. I'm really tempted to just sort of yell really loud, "Tickle-lee-lee!" But
well,
that I read.
You mustn't shout in places like this. It could bring the whole thing down.
Oh,
Funny to think, isn't it, that where we are at the moment, there's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of tons.
Oh, okay, let's get out.
Sanity roll for no.
We're just in this tiny little tube. I mean, you.
And if we died down here, nobody would ever know that we came here.
Oh well, I don't think I told anyone I was coming here, except you chaps. But you're all here.
Well, we told the tramp.
Oh yes, Mr.
Yeah, he could be bringing the bombs to blow up the mine entrance.
Yeah, the tramp. Yes.
We better get out. Let's go.
All right. Okay.
Yeah,
Anybody
let's
else? Dissenting opinion? Anything you want to do? Okay.
So there's nowhere, like, we can't go any further.
There are other side passages, but there's little ones or small ones. Just your general feel for things is it's a quiet tunnel. It hasn't been occupied for a while.
Can we determine what was mined here?
Yes.
All right. What was mined here?
A metal.
Was it radishes?
I don't really.
Okay,
remember.
yeah, it's not important.
Was
Nothing-
it a Bugs Bunny style carrot mine where he
Yes.
just got along pulling all the carrots up the ceiling
That's it. Yes.
from Elmer Fudd's garden?
Iron. Yes.
Iron Ferris mine. All right. What a waste.
It could be iron. Okay. Well, you go up the elevator. You back out. You don't see the dog or the security guard, but you can walk back to your car.
All right.
We don't see the garden. Okay.
I'm gonna sneak back to the car, or as close to it as an elderly man can manage.
I will also try and sneak too.
Okay. You're both
I
shuffling.
basically just look like a cartoon villain.
Tick, 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 tick. Yes. All right. Yeah.
And I've actually, if you listen closely,
I walk back to the car
making
as a
that
normal
little tinkling sound as I move across that.
Like Fred Flintstone.
Yes, that sound.
All right. You're back at your car. You're done. You're feeling distressed, like, what a waste of time. You're heading back to town, I assume.
What time is it by now? Would you say 8 o'clock?
So 8. Yes, about 8 o'clock. All right.
Anything flying overhead?
No? Moon's out again.
All right.
It was nice and cool down there. I thought it was quite refreshing.
I assume you head back the way you came.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You drive back, and now you see the vehicle. Mr. Sterling's vehicle is out in the open at the shed. He's at the shed, and he's sort of standing outside. He's got a coffee, like he's got a thermos, and he's got it filled up with coffee. Standing by his vehicle, watching you come down the road. You can see him.
All right.
He's got a little campfire going on.
We stop here.
What'd you find, gentlemen? Anything of interest?
Just the Ladies Auxiliary Historical Society. They were all a coven of witches down there doing witchy things. No, nothing at all.
I went and got some food. I did take a walk by the dig site. Not the dig site, the archaeological site. Yeah, because it's the dig site. You might want to take a pop back there or just take a look. They've got some new security in place. Mr. Chalmers doesn't seem to be too happy about it. He was standing watching them. Saw a few fellows with Tommy guns, so I'm a little bit concerned myself. I'm not going.
That's weird. Except they're afraid of the giant flying lizards.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm guessing that's what it is. The little girl, she seemed to think they were taking the place of the dogs.
The little girl?
Oh, she was out watching. I took a walk around the far side as I did before, snuck around to take a look from the distance, and I saw her. I spoke to her briefly, and then she ran away. She was first she wasn't so concerned, but then she just ran like hell.
The little girl, and I described what's her name?
April. Yes, she was watching them in the place I usually go to. Her
traveling companion was just murdered by a bear. And she's wandering around.
Yeah, I think she thought I was her grandfather or one of the other people in sight, because she said hi, and then she saw me, and then she just screamed and ran back home.
I think we need to talk to April. I'm sorry. I know everyone is sort of worried about involving the young girl, but I've got a gut feeling that she knows more than people think. And I saved her horse, so, she owes me one. What do you say, Ma? Do you want to go visit the Chalmers?
I'm ready to go.
Why don't you gentlemen go to camp and we'll go visit the Chalmers.
Yeah, I'm going to go to camp. I don't want to go to Chalmers. They kind of
creep you out.
You could say that.
Yeah.
But
so
if
who's
you
going?
need me, I could be. I could kind of be in the back, if something happens.
I don't mind you going to camp because we need some people to go to camp to work out why there's Tommy guns and all that stuff. But I just feel like we should make a stop at, the
Who's
Chalmers
going to camp?
Well, I'll go back to the camp, I think.
Okay, let's go. Who else is coming? Except for me, Percy, and Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Yeah, sure. Let's go to the camp. Montgomery.
I'm sorry, friends. I was completely distracted by something I was looking at on the Chalmers family tree, but it's not panning out the way I thought. What are we going to do? I'm sorry.
We're deciding. Well, me and Ma were saying we might go visit the Chalmers because we feel like they know. Yeah, well, we feel like not break in, just go and talk to them because Sterling mentioned that April was back at the dig site again, and that when he saw her,
I heard that.
Yeah. So we want to go talk to them. Because how late is it now?
It's about 8 o'clock.
Okay, so it's not too bad. So we're just deciding, me and Ma are quite happy to go have a chat with Hope or Andrew or whatever, or hopefully April. And then the others want to go back to the camp and find out why there's Tommy guns and stuff.
Yeah, I'll go with them back to the camp.
Okay. Ma, do you want to go? Do you think we should go to camp, or would you like to go talk to the Chalmers?
We were gonna go see the Chalmers anyways. Let's go to the camp tonight and see what's happening.
Well, you could go tonight and just ask how April is.
Yeah, that's true. Okay, all right. I'll go with you then, Montgomery. We'll go visit the Chalmers, and then everyone else can go to the camp.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Okay. I'll go with the camp people first.
Okay.
Jimmy. Go ahead.
As soon as we're separated from Ma and Dean, I look over at Jimmy and Clayton and say, "Do you want to see if we can get into the barn tonight?" They'll be distracted with Ma and Montgomery.
Yeah.
At least see if we can take a peek inside, see what's going on.
I like your idea, Brody.
I'm okay with it. I just keep saying I've already looked in there, but
That's right. We just saw horses, didn't we?
Maybe I missed something. So,
A secret door.
all right, let's go. Let's do it.
Percy, why don't you go into camp? Cat got your tongue? Quick, before he tells the story.
Sorry, my mute wouldn't come off for some reason. I'm clicking on it like a madman. I'm not going to tell anyone what you've done, but I just don't want to have any part of it. It's
You're a good man, Percy.
I'm too old to start doing things like that.
All right.
All right. So Percy, you're going to camp. Are you going to drop him off at the camp since you have the vehicle?
Yeah, and we're gonna walk over to the barn in the dark. So
Just so you know, there, I have a pretty good sneak.
Okay.
well, it's gonna be almost pitch black except for the moonlight,
And you know they don't have any dogs.
and they're going to be in there with Ma and Dean.
Yeah, no, I just thought I would,
Mhm.
And I'm gonna grab some sugar cubes to give to the horses.
Okay.
So they don't make noise.
Okay, there's some. So Ma and Captain Montgomery have been dropped off at the house. You drop off Percy at the camp, and you're driving back to the house. So I'll go deal with Percy first. Percy, you get to the camp. The gateway that you normally would just walk through. There's a fella, professional looking fella, like a not mobster, but pretty close security kind of guy with a Tommy gun at the. You're a Canadian. You haven't seen this really before, except in the newsreels. And he's just standing there. He goes, "Who are you? What do you want?"
You're muted, Percy.
Click, 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 click.
It's this modern technology. These old guys.
He pauses, and they get concerned.
Were you talking to me?
Yeah, you're trying to get into the dig site here. We're locked up right now because of.
Well, but I'm Dr. Daniels. I was invited here.
Oh, just a minute.
I'm being paid to be here.
Zephyr comes. You see Zephyr. He goes. He's with us. He's with us. Let him in. Let him in. So he waves you over and says, "Oh, you're here.
Thank you, young man."
Yeah, just nods at you and goes back to his unpleasant job. I says, "What's been going on? We haven't seen you fellas for the day, most of the day."
Well, we were just following up some leads, as I believe I once read in a book by Mr. Dashiellhammer.
Yes.
And we don't have a great deal to tell you, I'm afraid. We suspected we may have found something of interest, and just took ourselves on a bit of a wild goose chase for the.
Well, we haven't found anything new ourselves, so we're at wit's end here. But we think we must be getting close. We've got to be. There's only so much we can do here.
There have been no more strange incidents.
Nothing. I mean, the security fellas showed up. I had no idea they were coming, but they had the right paperwork.
Well, I suppose that's a good thing. If nothing's happened, mind you. Having said that, of course, if there aren't strange things happening, that might suggest that you will also be disappointed.
Yes. I have a feeling we're on a bit of a wild goose chase or a snipe hunt. I don't know who suggested this was the best location to look for the thing that's been described to us, but so far, nothing.
I think someone might have got it first a long time ago.
You think?
Yeah.
Well, that's happened before. It's not a a common occurrence in this
But
business.
it could be it could be anywhere, couldn't it?
This is the Nighthawks you were speaking of before, yes.
Well, or anyone over the years. I mean, anyone could have come in here and dug it up. It could be it could be part of someone's wall or their cellar floor. No.
Yes. Well, we're going to keep looking. We've got a mandate for another 5 days. After that, we'll move on to new leads.
Would you mind awfully if I availed myself of your mess tent?
Oh, make yourself at
a
home.
rather long day. I haven't eaten.
Make yourself at home. The food is always hot.
Thank you very much. And with that, I shall take my leave of him and go over to the mess tent and try and find some nice hot soup.
All right. Yes, the food's ready to go. I mean, they have food for a few hours after every meal, so there's lots of free food for all staff.
That's just lovely.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's skip to the house. Captain Montgomery and Ma.
Mm-hmm.
I assume you're going to the house that Hope and
Yes.
April live in. That's the larger of the two houses. You can see the light is on in the kitchen, and you knock at the front door, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Hope comes. She's drying her hands off with a little tea towel. She goes, "Oh, yes. Please, come in. How are things? It's been a very horrible day."
Yeah, I mean, we're okay. How are you and April holding up?
April is, I think it's going to hit her more later. She had a very difficult time. She wandered off. We didn't know where she was. She came back. She was accosted by this tramp, this fellow. Apparently he was in the woods near our house, and my father is just livid. I fear for that man if he comes near my father. I don't know what he'd do.
Well, that's one of the reasons why we were here. Your daughter was seen at the campsite again.
Yes. Well, I mean, this is our property. We've lived here for years,
yes,
and
yes.
we've always taught her that when she's feeling down, sad, angry, the best thing to do is to go for a walk.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. My father's always said that. He does the same when he's inconsolable for whatever reason, the loss of my mother or whatever. He will go for a walk. But right now he's livid. He's mad, angry at the sheriff and the others for not having dealt with this bear problem over the years. Furious that this bear is running around. I heard the men shot it, but they didn't kill it. The men who were hunting it, they shot it. They took its eye out. Clean shot the eye, but didn't kill it. And it's still wandering about. And now we've got this tramp. So he's livid at both instances. He's so mad. I don't know where he's gone.
Oh,
Would it be
Go ahead.
Would it be possible to speak with April?
Oh, she's right here in the other room. She's going to bed very soon. But April, could you come in? The little girl comes in. She's shy but friendly. Hello.
I get down so that I'm sort of at her level.
Mm-hmm.
And I say, "Hello, April. My name is Dean. I was the one that patched up your horse."
Thank you.
That's okay.
He's a chestnut.
Yes, very, very nice. You must be very frightened about what happened today.
Yes. I don't like bears. I don't like dogs. I don't like bears. I'm terrified of them. I don't like tramps now either.
That's a very good attitude to have.
Yeah. What did the tramp tell you when you talked to him?
I went for a walk. I just went for a walk to see them do the work because I like to see them do the work. And now that there's no dogs, I can get close to see them do the work. And I went up on the hill, and he just walked up behind me. I don't know whether he was going to grab me or take me away or steal me from my father or attack me like the bear. And I just ran screaming. I don't even know what he said.
Sorry, take you from your father?
My grandfather. I'm sorry, grandfather.
Now, April, I want you to tell the truth to me. Have you ever been to the old riverbed?
Oh yes, of course.
And have you ever seen someone digging in the old mound there?
The workmen there. Oh, you mean not the men?
No, not well. If you've seen one of the men, like before they started working on that mound in the old riverbed, have you ever been there? Did you ever see someone digging around there?
Oh yes, yes. My grandfather. We use that soil for our gardens.
Ah, I see.
It's better than the others. He says the soil in the fields has been all used up by the plants. So he goes down to the riverbed in the spring and we get buckets of it and we bring it back and mix it in with our vegetable gardens.
I give obviously Ma a quick look when she tells us all this. And I say, well, you've been very brave, April. And I take my my leather gloves, my aviator gloves, out of my pocket, and I say, "You've been so brave. I'd like to give you my leather gloves, real genuine aircraft RAF Air Force gloves."
Oh, she's very excited by this. Oh, she doesn't know what to do. She's beside herself. Yes, very excited. You made her very happy.
Good riding gloves too, for when you're riding your pony around.
As soon as my pony gets better, she says thank you 1,000 times. She's just very ecstatic.
With that, I kind of stand and I ask Hope. I say, "What are the chances of your father being awake?" And I understand, obviously, if he's upset with everything, we'd like to go and to talk to him about what's happened and try maybe ease his nerves a bit.
He's not home. I think he's gone to speak to the sheriff.
Right.
I don't think it's the best. He's in his state. But he told me after dinner that he was going to have words with them. He just said them, and then he went out to the barn, and then he went to the town.
The barn. What exactly do you keep in the barn? Is it just horses?
Oh, horses. He has a little in the upper loft area. He has this little reading area that he's created, where he has a little desk and a little chair, and he sits and reads, and he does his little quiet thing. It's cooler than the house, he says, and he likes to be around the horses.
Right. Yes.
And he took a horse tonight to go visit them.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, we don't want to keep you too long, but let me just say, if you ever don't feel, comfortable, or if you are worried or of anything going on, please send a message to the camp. I'm more than happy to sit in a chair outside and kip outside or whatever, and make sure nothing is going on.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yes, thank you.
And with that, I say our goodbyes.
Yeah, and I'll just say, I'm so sorry for hearing about your friend too, April. I'm sure. Sure, that was really horrific. So,
thank you. I hope he's better someday.
Yeah.
I don't think you get the intent, the picture. You don't think she really believes that he's dead.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
But
She doesn't have that concept. So while this is all happening, you're making your goodbyes. Jimmy, Dr. Brody, Clayton, what are you guys doing?
We've snuck up to the side of the barn farthest away from the house, so that it's naturally we're kind of hidden back there. Do we hear that? We probably can hear the horses making little bits of noise and stuff like that.
Yep, definitely.
Well, we've kind of, Jimmy, you've seen in the bottom store, the bottom layer, you know that it's just the horse stable.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I suppose they could hide some stuff under the hay, but there's probably also a loft.
Yeah. I say, I wasn't there. I say let's go to the top, and I can go in there. How difficult is to get in to this?
Well, I don't know if the guy locks this place up or if he just puts.
There's a padlock.
Yeah, there's a big padlock on it. That's why I didn't get in.
Is there like a open window?
Yep. On the side, both sides, there's because for ventilation for the horses. There's a shuttered window on both sides, about 8 feet off the ground.
Are they 8 feet off the ground? Are they openable?
Mhm.
I don't know why you would lock them. So
There's little hooks and there's a stick actually leaning against the wall that you can use to pull them open from the outside to vent out the loft or the barn rather.
well,
Let's do it that way.
it's going to be tricky. Somebody's going to have to get on somebody's shoulders. You want to
Human
try it?
pyramid.
Well, here, let's try this. First of all, I assume there's some of these windows on both sides of the barn.
Yes.
All right. So if the house is here, if the barn is here and the house is here, and the road leads off towards wherever, towards the town, whatever, I want to be on the farthest side so that anybody coming up the road or from the house, they won't be able to see us there.
I totally agree.
And I will get underneath the window and put my hands like this. And Clayton, if you want to climb up and see if you can get through the window.
I'll definitely do that.
And Jimmy, you want to go up?
Sure.
All right. Well, I'm going to have to stay out here because there's no way for me to get up there. But I'll keep an eye out, and I'll give you a whippoorwill if if I see somebody coming. All right.
Mhm.
Yeah. And what the hell is Ma and Montgomery already leaving for? That's not a distraction.
Hey,
Oh, no,
you
this
guys
is
didn't
happening
tell
while
us
you're
the
talking.
plan.
Yeah, I know.
You didn't tell us the plans.
Oh,
Least
that's
they wave.
we did.
Yeah.
Hey guys, what you up to? Do you need
Yeah,
help?
Yeah.
That
All
pyramid is good now.
All right. Go ahead. All right. So I'm just waiting there, but I'm keeping my eye out around the corner of the barn.
Do I need to roll anything? To like climb or anything like that?
I would roll a dexterity. Unless you fail miserably, it's not gonna. You're gonna land in some soft dirt.
And face down in some soup.
06 for me. I sprightly leap up.
The youngest of the bunch.
I fail. I fail by
You
20.
stumble and I catch you.
You fail by 20. Okay, you stumble and you're caught. I'll just say the next time you're fine though.
All right.
Okay, you get up, you're in. 2 of you can get in. I would assume you're going to try for 2 of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jimmy and Clayton will go in.
Yep. You get in, you pull yourself up. You're over top of a stall where there's another horse, like the mother's horse is in there. But there's a little bit of a landing, and you can easily get down. You'd be down in with the horse, though. The horse is not too happy about it, but I'm assuming that you've been around horses before you're able to calm
Well, I
them
gave
down.
you guys sugar cubes to give the horses.
Okay.
Yeah, just to calm them down.
Guard horses, I bet.
Oh, horses are fine. They're used to being knocked around by little kids, so I guess it's not freaking them out. And once you're in there, it's dark. There is some moonlight coming through the rafters, though. Did you have a flashlight or anything with you?
We had them with us when we were at the...
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, well then you can see that there's a ladder leaning against the far wall. You wouldn't have seen it before, Jimmy, because you're looking through the doorway without opening the lock.
Mhm.
And there is a loft up above. You put the ladder against, and it can go up into the loft.
Okay. I will go up in the loft.
It's only half full of hay. You notice that usually a loft is full. You're half full of hay. There is actually a desk up there with a number of books, a pen, like a pen and like ink and paper, and it's like a little. The grandfather's created a little reading writing desk, and it's very clean and tidy. That he's got a broom up there. He's kept it very swept, tidy and clean. It's like his own private little study.
Okay, that seems pretty good.
It's weird.
That is weird though.
Can we tell by looking at the papers or books? Anything
What kind
interesting?
of books are they?
How to take care of horses?
They're farming books mostly books on farming techniques, which is strange because he doesn't have a very good farm here. He's living off of, you assume, the money the mother or his daughter makes, and whatever residuals he has from whatever he's left by his parents. He isn't farming anything, so these may not have been his books originally. But you do notice there's a few books that are esoteric in nature, so to speak, kind of interesting books that are on occult type
Ooh.
things. And could you make a spot hidden?
Give me a sec.
No. I failed. 23-point fail.
I failed by 5. Is there any way I can spend 5 luck points?
Yep, you can. Yes. I'll give you that. You're poking around, you're looking under the desk, seeing if any drawers have any hidden spots or anything like that. And you do notice that what you thought was a footrest under the desk, actually, when you pull it out, it's a box. And when you open the lid, it has an indentation where there's an octagonal kind of hole where something would have sat inside it.
Nice.
But nothing in it, right?
Nothing in it.
Yeah, I said, hey, I'm kind of being more quiet. I'm like, hey, Jimmy, come over here. Look over here.
Is this the same box? Or this is a different box, right?
It's a different box.
Does that mean he's got both of them?
No, this is a different box.
Different shape?
Different shape.
I'm confused.
Well, I think what it is I think he has one of the artifacts. That's where the artifact came in the box, right? And then the other one is with the...
Keep looking around.
Yeah, I'm going to keep looking around.
Could you do a listen roll, Dr. Brody?
Yeah. 54. Listen is... Oh, I need new glasses. I got 54 and it's a 55, so I just made it by 1 point.
Percy, could you do a listen roll as well?
In the hotel, oh no, it's not a hotel, is it? It's a dig
you're in
site.
the mess
I'm
tent.
terribly confused sometimes. That was a 6. That was a fail.
You hear singing
62.
ribald songs from the other 10. Okay. Dr.
Young
Brody,
man,
you
what
hear
is a Dicky Guido?
something.
Hold on. I'm in suspense.
I don't know what they were singing. It was extremely rude, the song they were singing. They said something about the hairs on her dicky dido hung down to her knee, and then there was well, it was just too rude to.
I think he's frozen.
Doo-da, doo-da.
Apparently, the young lady in the song didn't have a very enviable level of personal hygiene, by the sounds of it. It's strange what young people today find entertaining, isn't it?
I'm
Didn't
holding
even know I
my
was
breath in suspense.
You didn't even know I was gone, did you? Okay, where did I leave off? You hear something in the distance. You're not entirely sure what it was. It was just kind of a, you've heard this. What is that noise? I've heard this before. And then now that you're listening for it, a few seconds later, you hear in the distance the most horrific roaring noise.
Oh my God!
Now, when you say a roaring noise, is it?
Well, this is Dr. Brody.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were.
No, you couldn't hear anything. You were hearing ribald songs from the other tent.
Oh, sorry, I thought you were drawing me in with the description.
About Harry Dickey somethings. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm finding it very difficult to be me. I'm reacting to everything in and out of the game as though I'm Percy now. I'm sorry.
Which direction is it coming from?
The general direction that would be north-southeast, west of the farmhouse, the woods.
The woods.
The woods where, by chance, the people were attacked by the bear, like where the path leads from the town.
Guys. Whippoorwill. Let's go, right.
This is all when I'm trying to, as soon as I see that box, I'm doing a complete kind of search.
Clayton, I just heard a horse fart. Let's go.
And then I hear the horse.
Yes.
Fart.
Well, you do actually hear Dr. Brody making noises. Guys, you do hear this as you're looking.
Okay.
Get out. The monster's coming.
We will try and get out.
Wait, should you get in?
How am I going to get on it? You're 8 feet above the window.
You hear another roar, and this time, Percy, you hear it as well. It's closer to you. It's like this sound of, well, Percy, you know what it is. It's a bear. From living in Northern Ontario, you've heard a bear roar before. This is the roar of a bear. It's in the sky.
Oh, God, I'm having another turn. A bear in the sky.
And a roar, and then you hear some kind of screeching kind of noise. And Jimmy and Clayton, are you guys doing anything? Are you still searching, or are you going outside?
Well,
can they hear it now?
They can hear something, yes. They hear you.
I'm endeavoring to make sure that I'm staying under canvas.
I'm backing away.
Open.
I'm backing away from the barn into the open so that I have a clear view of the sky where the noise is coming from.
Well, like I said, I was...
Go ahead, sorry.
Okay, like I said, I'm trying to find, search as much as I can before we get out of here. So if we find anything.
Okay, you guys search some more. There's commotion outside, and Jimmy's kind of like, what the heck? What are we doing? But between the two of you, you don't find anything more, but you do find a sealed, locked diary type book. And it's very old. And you can't open it because it's been closed and locked. And you don't have the key. But that's what you find. And that's generally all you find other than the box under the desk.
Okay. I'm going to pocket the diary. And then we'll get out.
I actually was serious about that. I think I'm going to be like at the window, not quite sure I'm ready to go out to where the danger is.
Okay. There's a window on the other side of the building too that you didn't open that you can push the shutters open if you wish to look out in that direction.
Okay.
That is the direction the noise seems to be coming from.
I ask Jimmy, do you think we'll be more safe in here than outside, or?
Well, I mean, you saw what that thing did to the dogs, right? That thing swooped down from the sky and grabbed these things. I don't think I want to be in an open field with that.
Yeah,
The horses have survived here for a very long time.
There's a great thud outside on the other side of the barn, Dr. Brody. A monstrous thud.
I run over and I peek around the edge of the.
You see something, a mound of something in a field, like maybe 300 feet away from the barn.
Okay.
Vaguely, like, bear-shaped. And if you look up into the sky and you do see a winged creature, fair size, wingspan maybe 20 feet, 15, 20 feet, and like a bat, like bat's wings, and it's the body is jumbled and jagged and not like the things you saw in the north, and it is flying off towards the north.
All right. And the thing in the field is looks like a bear that's been dropped from a great height. It's a mound of bear. It's not a moving bear.
No, it's not a moving bear.
Jesus Christ. I run back over to the window and I'm like, guys, hurry up. I just saw one of the flying things drop a bear.
I'm like, I think we're safer in here than out there.
I think it's going away, but hurry up.
All right, if it's leaving, I'll go outside.
Okay.
At this point, do I see Ma and Montgomery in the house?
By chance, this is when you guys are leaving. You didn't hear the thud or the commotion, but you're leaving the house now. Thank you very much. Have a nice evening. Hope you can sleep tonight well.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so we obviously aren't expecting to see Brody or whatever.
Right.
No.
Well, as you guys start to walk down the road,
yeah,
and as I see the lights or the front door close, I go,
what rolls in the? Oh, it's Brody. Hey, Doc. What? Oh.
Stealth over to the barn.
Yeah.
I'll assume you're all apart from Percy out in the same general location now.
Come back over here to the other side of the barn so that nobody can see us.
What's going on? Why are you guys here? Did you get into the barn?
The guys are in the barn right now. See that lump over there in the field?
She kind of squints. Yeah, I think I see something out there.
My guess is that is a dead bear. Because
What?
while I was standing here keeping watch, our lizard thing caught that bear and killed it and dropped it from a height. I saw this with my own eyes.
Where's the car at? My rifle's in there.
It's down the road a little bit.
The thing flew off up into the hills where the bear had attacked. I'm starting to think that the creature. That's crazy.
What do you think? I think I'm on the same train of thought you are, Doc. Do you think
Andrew is the creature,
mm,
and he's doing this to protect his family?
or is he controlling the creature?
I'm going to go up to the bear.
He's not here. He left, according to Hope. So he could be out anywhere. And she thinks he went to go see the sheriff, but he could be visiting. She just said them. He said them.
Yeah, I've walked up to the bear.
Yep. It's a dead bear. It's one part of its eye and part of its head have been shot off.
Yeah.
Its head is actually half decapitated, hanging just by its spine. Something has snipped right through it, and it's been partially viscerated, gutted.
So I see all that, and I go back to the other two, and I say, "It's the bear that killed young April's friend. It's the one they hunted. The eye's been shot out."
Yeah.
Listen.
So I think that helps your theory that
Hold on, Captain.
You said that Andrew's not here, but Andrew's got to come back.
Yeah, he could be back anytime.
We've got to try to guess which direction he comes back from, and then go in that direction and see what we can find.
He'll probably go to the barn first. That's where we saw him leaving. So
But if we can hide someplace where we can observe him coming down the road or coming from a direction, like the creature flew off towards the woods.
Mm-hmm.
And if he comes from that direction, then I think that means that he's involved with that creature somehow.
That sounds likely. Yeah, let's
the other two
set up and see what the other.
and the other two watch from the barn.
Yeah.
What if he goes into the barn? What if he goes upstairs to read his little books?
Well, they can hide in one of the stalls.
Hide under the hay.
What if he's in there for hours? I
Did he
see
know
come
where
out
he was?
of the barn. We can hide behind the barn. Obviously, if he's on one side of the barn and we're on the other side and we're careful, he won't ever know what we're there. Or if there's someplace
Tom,
we can hide. Yeah.
Did you want to go late, or do you want this to be next week?
Jeez, it's already 8 o'clock.
I have enough to do. Well, what does everybody want to do? I have the next episode written. Okay.
So you have
So I
enough
can
for
either-
you have enough for a whole 2 hours?
Yep.
All right. Well, let's just do that then.
Yeah, I think
All right.
that's a good idea.
Okay, but before it goes, just notice that in the distance, in the night while you're discussing what to do in the silence of the night, from the north, you hear gunshots. Up the road towards where Brent Sterling is.
Is that the
This-
direction that the beast?
Part of
headed?
me's like, let's work out what all this is, and then we'll finish.
That's the direction that the beast went in.
Yep,
North. Okay.
up the road.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, he sent that beast to kill Brent. Because he wanted to get rid of Brent too.
Yep. Because of April. April mentioned the tramp.
He wanted to get rid of the dogs. He wanted to get rid of the.
Mhm.
Yes, it's got to be him.
Rid of all the annoyances around the farm. Mm-hmm.
Wow, this just got.
All right. Get out of the barn. Let's get back to camp as quickly as possible.
Okay.
The next time that thing's in the sky, I'm going up with that Gatling gun. I don't care.
Just so you know, just so I will get. I don't know how I'll get out, but I will get out of the barn.
All right.
Oh, you two can get out of the barn. That's not a problem.
Well, there's a lot of us here now to grab you, so.
Okay, no, I'm just making sure that we.
All right.
And I will move on to the sticky toffee pudding.
There's some left for you.
I think
Brilliant.
we might get away from this place before he comes back. What do you think? We can go rendezvous in the camp and get Percy.
Yeah, part of me wants to go and check on the tramp.
I think the tramp's done for. If that monster went after him.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's, because we don't want to face this creature right now.
I do.
Well, all right. Well, then we'll decide what we're going to do next.
Find out what it is, and
yeah, true. That is true. Yeah.
We need to look at the diary, and we need to get an idea of what's.
If we know the general direction that we need to go, then we can go there in the morning when Andrew is getting drunk, and then we know he won't interfere, because somewhere out there he's got something stashed that's calling these things. Hopefully it's not just in a hollow tree somewhere. That'll be hard to find. All right. Our players included Mick Swan, Jeff Wilkins, Corey Highstead, Zane Fleming, Troy Wheeldryer, and myself with Sean Little. Shane. You're going to be Shane from now on. Sean Little is Keeper of the Secrets. We're currently producing 4 shows a week with music and sound effects added in post-production in order to create a richer listener experience. We provide audio-only versions of our shows free for you to download from Podbean or iTunes. If you'd like to become a patron, visit our Patreon account. Just $1 or $2 a month helps us a lot. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel, and punch that bell icon for updates on our latest shows. And leave us some comments. We like reading them. This is Tom Rayleigh, together with all the members of our gaming club, inviting you to journey with us once again into the darkness for another adventure into the universe of H.P. Lovecraft and the Call of Cthulhu role-playing game. Until next time, good luck and good gaming.